My name is Kira. I'm a field educator here at the Wenatchee River Institute. We connect people, communities, and the natural world. We do youth programming all the way from Leavenworth to Wenatchee, all the way even up to Brewster. And then we also have community programs like tonight's event. We also have workshops and nature walks as well. And we do all sorts of other fun things. So if you come here, thank you. If you've not seen us on our hybrid on Zoom before, thank you for that as well. We reach many different communities. Before we get started, it's also very important to us that we are an ally and support our local Indigenous group. So I shall read a land acknowledgement. This land acknowledgement was created along the Shimpa people. We are spreading the message they wish to spread to the public. The land the Wenatchee River Institute sits on is the ancestral homelands of the Shimpa people. Shimpa, meaning people in between, had villages positioned along the Wenatchee River and surrounding areas. Their ancestral homelands extends from the Cascade Ridge to what is now known as the Wenatchee and Okanagan Valleys. The culture and the economy of the Shimpa people centers on taking care of the land. They fish, hunt, gather roots and berries, basket-making materials, and medicines. The Shimpa are named within the Yakima Treaty of 1855. Language to establish the Wenatchee Reservation was never followed through, even with the needed surveying completed. Many Shimpa now live on the Colville Reservation, 150 miles northeast of Leavenworth. They were forced off their lands here, and the U.S. government moved them to this reservation. The Shimpa people are still alive today. They continue to practice their culture, harvest their traditional foods and medicines, and hold their ceremonies passed down from their ancestors. Most people won't see or notice them, but they continue to be on the land that they are connected to. Their traditional language is in Hamchin, an interior Salish dialect. And I'd like to welcome you all by saying hello in their language, Tilhusht. Tilhusht means hello. We offer this land acknowledgement as the first step to amplifying Indigenous voices and recognizing the harm done to them as a people. We stand as an ally to recognize their connection to the land and their rights to practice their culture on these sacred lands. We encourage you all to learn about the Indigenous peoples of the place you now call home. The Wenatchee River Institute is committed to sharing this land acknowledgement and following up with other actions to educate and be respectful. Thank you. And then we would also like to take some time to thank our sponsors, which are listed above behind me. And this will be Gustav's Grill and Beer Garden, Ludwig's German Restaurant, Obertal Inn, Posey Handpicked Goods, South Restaurants, Hotel Pension Anna, Munchen House, Sleeping Lady Mountain Resort, North Central Washington Audubon Society, Icicle Brewing Company, the Cove Resort at Fish Lake, Kolchak Consignment, Riverfront Rock Gym, Mountain Home Lodge, and Mitchell Reed and Schmitten Insurance. Great, thank you. We also have some upcoming events to just let you know about. This Friday, we have a moth night. It's going to be a workshop about moths. You get to go out at night, find some really cool things. I think there's some few spaces still available. And then the next day, if you're really on the bug game, you can also go learn about the butterflies around here. And that's kind of an all-day event, and there's still space for that one as well. Great, and then next Wednesday, we also have a Red Barn event with a Sweet and Tooth and Claw, kind of about like nature's like relationships with each other and stuff, which should also be very interesting. I would now like to welcome Victor. I'm gonna read a little bit about him, and then we're gonna play a video before we get started. Victor Yemba grew up in the Democratic Republic of Congo in a village called Simi, near the city of Kinzangi. He began farming with his grandfather at the age of 6 and began to realize that his family had more to eat than most. His life changed violently in June of 2000 when the war came to Kinzangi. Victor and other members of his village were forced to fly to the jungle to escape the violence. Victor was able to call upon his farming experience for sustenance while hiding. It was finally time to go home for Victor, began to work with his community teaching sustainable farming techniques. Eventually, he heard about an international organization called Slow Food, which was attempting to promote sustainable agriculture on a community level. Victor joined them in a project called 10,000 Gardens in Africa. Over a 5-year period, he led the creation of 50 school and community gardens. He refused to cooperate with corrupt officials, which led him to immigrating to the US. He now lives in Seattle, Washington, and helps his people from afar. So before Victor speaks, he would like to share a video with you all that's about 5 minutes.
The slow food gardens in Africa are not just open spaces where African communities, men, women, children in schools go out to grow crops, but there are places, ecological spaces where they come to learn about the food system, where they meet to have a discussion about the future of the food in Africa. People come together to discuss which type of garden they want to create, which kind of biodiversity they want to preserve, the local biodiversity, and also which kind of production system that can help feed themselves.
Wakola ennimiro eno kwagala okwegattira awamu tusobole okufuna ku ndya ey'enjawulo n'enkulaakulana mu maka gaffe ne mu kitundu kyaffe okukulaakulanya abantu baffe. Tuba n'ensalosalo okusobola okukwata amazzi. Tulina gardens zaffe, mandala zaffe ze tukola tuzidizayininga okubeera nti zisobola okukwata amazzi bw'ogisala bw'oti n'ogikola ekikubo n'omanya nti amazzi be gajja gali gamiramu muno ne gasobola okusigalamu. Tukozesa okubikka. Tubikka okusobola okukwata otuzi otutono tuba tufunye nsana ne gutatuyisa bubi nnyo. Ate tufukirira. Ono compost manure tusooka wansi ne tutemaatemawo. Bwe tumala okutematemawo ne tuleeta obuti obutonotono. Okutematemawo kituyamba amazzi gali okusobola okuyingira mu ttaka obulungi, okusobola okufuna amazzi gekinywa. Tuteekawo obuti. Bwe tumala okuteekawo obuti tuwaliirako ebisubi ebibisi.
Kaakati eno ennimiro gy'embalaga y'ey'awantu awafunda. Oli mu ttawuni, oli ku poloti, osobola okukola ka gadeni kano. Kati ate n'ebidomola bino situkyabisuulasuula kati twabifunamu omugaso. Bwe kikaddiwa situkisuulasuula ng'edda bwe twabyokya okwonoona obutonde bw'ensi.
Tulina efuremu eno gye tukozesa bweti. Tugikozesa okufuna direction y'amazzi wa amazzi gye gadda, era tukoze tutya okulabika nti gatambulira mu nnimiro nga tukendeezezaako ku maanyi gaago gasobole okuba nga yingira mu ttaka lyaffe obulungi.
When slow food came in to pattern with the Chivirige memorial, it is when we started realizing feeding changing, learners enjoying the meal, even coming for extra. Cook, do you have something like extra sauce? So things have changed after slow food coming to our school. It is where we are seeing our learners are healthy, they are enjoying the beans. You can even not find any remainder of the sauce.
Learners come here every Friday in the evening or afternoon hours to come and attend to the garden. But sometimes we bring them every morning during drought to irrigate the garden because they also have interest. They are not forced.
We avoid using artificial fertilizers. That's why our crops are looking very well. In making animal liquid manure, we use cow dung, ash, and you get a sack and you put ash in the sack. This cow dung, you must go and you shake like twice a day, morning and evening, like for 2 days. You avoid this cow dung to sit at the bottom of this bucket. It must be up. You shake, after shaking, and you leave.
The slow food gardens have helped also to streamline the role of women in feeding their families and also in taking leadership positions in terms of governing local food systems. If we need to feed the growing population in the world, it's important to support the communities to feed themselves.
School gardening for improved nutrition.
Good evening, everybody. My English is not good, but I will try. So before I start, I want to teach you 3 words in Swahili, if you'd love to learn. So to say hello in Swahili, we say jambo. Jambo. And to say thank you, it's asante. Asante. And to say goodbye is kwaheri. Kwaheri. Yeah. If you meet someone from Kenya, Tanzania, you can say jambo, jambo. So I came from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and my town home is Kisangani. Is Kisangani. Kisangani is so far from capital city Kinshasa, something like 2,000 kilometers. So it's where I grew up, Kisangani city. So when I was 6, 5, I realized I was living with my grandparents. And then my grandparents will live with 2 another cousins. My mom did have the possibility, that's why I was in the house of my grandparents. So when I was 6, my grandparents told me, Victor, I want you to help me on farming. I didn't like, I didn't also say, no, I don't like. Because for me, it was a job which was considering like you are in low class. People will laugh on you. What are you doing this? You are young, you are a kid. And also, I have to get up early in the morning, something like 5 a.m. Because in my place, it's so hot. You have to start early in the morning so that when it reaches 10, you stop, you take break. So, and then I said, okay, let me do that. I was helping watering, digging the ground, and we planted tomatoes, cabbage, peppers, cassava leaves, maize. And cassava leaves, it's the main food for us. From cassava, we have root, we can make ugali, and from cassava, we can also just boil the root. We boil and then we eat. And the leaves, we cook like cabbage. So that is the main food for us. So what we were growing, I started to see the result. Oh, we do this, the product. And that product help us. Firstly, we sell, and the money, we get money. My grandparents helped me to go to school. He paid the school fees with what we have sold. Because in my place, we have to pay school, even when we were kids. If you don't have money, that means no school, just stay home. So many of kids, they didn't go to school. the parents couldn't afford to pay for them to go to school. So another thing was we had food because most of the people couldn't have enough food home. And then how can you go to school if your stomach is empty? So for me, it was something good. Oh, I had food and then I have empty, I go to school. I've started to realize, oh, that was good things for me to help my grandparents because I can see the advantage in my life. So many people, they just stop. They just stop going to school because their teacher will come in front of, before we start teaching, he start to call one by one. If you are 50 in the classroom, Victor, did you pay? No, go. If you are 50 in the classroom, maybe they are going to stay 3 students. Other go home. So in that situation, for me, I was lucky to have a grandparents who taught me the value of agriculture. Because most of the people, they didn't want farming because they were saying, no, we can't. But for us, it was good. We have food. Even every evening, the kids would come to hear the story from my grandparents. He was telling so many stories, and we will give those kids food, they will eat. And for me, I was so lucky. I saw the first time the importance of farming, and it became for me a passion. I started culturally doing that because in the country, 8% of people, they don't work. 8.5. So farming was something good for us. And then the situation was so bad when I was 13 in 1997. Mobutu was the dictator president for long time, 32 years. So after him, what happened was there was a guy, a Congolese guy was living in jungle. And he was fighting to Mobutu, but he couldn't ousted because he didn't have the possibility. So what happened? They tried to help him. Rwanda military, Uganda, Burundi, Sudan, all Eastern Africa. They say, we are going to help you so that you ousted that dictator president. And then they made a deal with that guy. If we reach the capital city, Kinshasa, and you took power, you are going to divide the country. Eastern part of Congo, you give one part to Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, because we brought you the support. You say, okay, I will do that. They started the war, took different territories till they get capital city. And then when they are there, the guy took power, and then his supporters said, okay, now we have to respect the deal we made. Now you are in power, you have now to give us what we agreed. So the guy said, oh, before I did that, let me ask Congolese people If they will say yes, I'll give you. And then that president was open, honest to the Congolese people. He told them the truth. I made the agreement, this. Those countries, they want me to give Kivu, and it's the richest part of Congo. What do you say? Can I give them or no? And the population say, no, we can't do that. And the president look at them, my population say no. When he said no, they created violence. They look some Congolese people, they give them money, create different groups of rebels to fight that president. And then the country was divided in 4 parties. I was in Kisangani. I can't go to Kinshasa, capital city, directly. Kisangani was controlled by Rwanda soldiers. So if I want to go to Kinshasa, which is my capital city, I have to go from Kisangani to Rwanda, Kigali. Kigali was like our capital city. And from Kigali, you fly to Congo Brazzaville. Congo Brazzaville is close to Congo Kinshasa, with difference that by Congo Brazzaville, Congo Kinshasa. Congo Kinshasa is Republic Democratic of Congo. So from Congo Brazzaville, you take boat, you cross now to your capital city. And it's expensive. No one could do that. Maybe you have money. So it was so difficult, life changed. Even farming was something you can't do that. Everywhere there's the groups of rebel. We don't have the garden home. We have to go a little bit far. All of those places was completely with plenty of groups rebel. And then something happened so bad. I remember I was in school. I was in school around 9. It was one day, Monday. I was in school, 9 a.m. We start hear the explosion in the city. The explosion, bomb. And I couldn't go back home. To go back home, I used to walk more than 1 hour to walk. So I had a friend, and that friend told me, Victor, let's go somewhere. And we were just going like this. If you try like this, one family, they saw us, they called, come, stay with us in this house. We went into the house, we stayed there, and all of us were under the table. The explosion, the bomb going on. Many houses collapsed. Many people died. And we saw even our neighbor where we were hiding, the house collapsed with the bomb. I didn't eat the first day. Second day, didn't eat, didn't drink water. 3 days, I became weak. I was saying, I'm gonna die. No food, no water. I became slim. And then after 3 days, I remember it was Wednesday, we thought it was so quiet around 9:10. We thought that the war was over, or it wasn't. And the people start moving, flee. And my friend told me, let's go. When we just get out from the house, how many bodies on the ground, people die. We are just going like this. We walk 1 hour and a half. When I got home, my mother was crying. And we thought maybe we died. Maybe I'm here. So where they were living, it was completely dangerous. So they told me, let us go from this place. It's not safe. We start going, we didn't know where we are going. Just we met many families on the road, just going with the small bags. And then we found ourselves in the jungle. We say, let's stay in the jungle. And so many wild animals in the rainforest in Congo. So at night, the noise of different animals, you can't imagine. And what we do was, how we have to sleep here? We just cut off the banana leaves, we put on the ground, we slept there. We slept for the first time. And tomorrow, we have to eat. We go in the rainforest, there's so many different kind of fruit, bananas, big bananas, papayas, so many. That help us to get food. So as we were in groups, we say, okay, let's do something here. There's some people, they knew how to make a trap to catch the animals. Because so many animals, there, leopard, snakes, so many, you catch badges, and it's scared, we are scared, it's very scared. So we start putting the trap to get white pig, and we got it. And I'll say, okay, I know how to farm. Let's start doing something here. But we didn't have tool, any tool we didn't have. We just use our hands to plant. We use our hand. It wasn't easy, but we did that. And there's some people, let's build a hut, a small house here, especially for the women, they can sleep in. So we build house with the bamboo. The roof we make with the banana leaves, just for women to sleep in. It was a mud house. And as men, we continue sleeping on the ground. So we stayed there for 6 months. And we had a small radio, and that radio, it was helping us to get information if the situation is going a little bit better, so that we can return back. So all the time, the war is ongoing all the time. And then finally, after 6 months, there were agreements between the government, because the government changed, they assassinated the guy who they want support him, and they put this guy Joseph Kabila. When he took power, he was 29. His father was assassinated in the office in the capital city. And this guy tried to talk with Rwanda, Burundi, all the groups so that the country can be united again. So, and he did that. Things tried to change, and then we came back to our home after 6 months. After 6 months, we returned to my village. I continue with my activities to support people farming. I say there's no job. The only things we can do here is for us to farm. And then my grandfather who helped me, he was really sick, and then he passed away, he died. And when he died, for me, I couldn't go to school. He was the one to support me. So this sister is Catholic nun from Italy. She lived in my village, CVC. She went there when she was 18 years old, and she got old there in Kisanga, in my village. So she saw me, Victor, why? She asked me why you are not going to school. I said, no, I don't have money. My grandfather just passed away. No one could support me. And she told me, okay, I'm going to help you so that you return back to school. So she paid everything for me. I finished high school, college, I do agronomics through her support. So if I didn't meet her, I couldn't continue with my school. So after that, the problem, the violence again continued. It was dangerous for us. We returned again back to the jungle. We didn't stay so long as the first time, but we stayed at least 3 months. And then I returned back. I met one guy who talked to me about slow food. I was so interested in slow food, and I said, okay, just write to them, and then you can be involved to that. And I tried to write to them. They said, okay, we are going to support you with what we are doing. They started with the 10,000 project, garden project for Africa, because with that, it was to make all the family, community to have food, because food was the main things for people. We didn't think about to invest something. For us, it was first it's food. So with that project, we help many people, and many people understand also, I mean, let's do that. At least people can have food, can eat. So it was a success. It was a success. And then people start loving, doing without pushing them. They understand that we have food home. And there are some people, they have product they can sell and then go to pay to the school. And the school garden we were doing was to help the kids, they didn't have food to go to school. We create something in the school. We can cook and the kids can have food there. And also, we sell some, we can buy uniform for those kids that didn't have any things to wear as a uniform, boots, bags, everything. That project helped us to do that. And then Slow Food invited to go to Italy. I went to Italy, and from there, it was a big event for Slow Food. And we tried to talk about them. Because for me to go to Italy was something I couldn't imagine, because to travel in my place is so expensive. And everything, you have to go to the capital city, Kinshasa. Of my place, Kisangani, is 2,000 kilometers to go there. There's only two ways, by boat or by plane. Or by boat, how many days are you going? And which kind of boat? You can't imagine. You can stay one month for you to get the capital city, 1 month. And if the boat stop at problem, you stop on the way. That was difficult, you can't imagine. No road. We were like, you know, the politician always, they want to put people in the same place. No connection of road. People just stay in their village, in their city. You can't move to go. So for me to go to Italy, it was good things. And I share my experience. And then some people told me, don't come back, just stay there. I said, no, I'll go back to Kisangani. And then when I came back to Kisangani, the situation always wasn't good. And then for me, I was becoming popular I was working with part of communities. And the country was preparing the election to vote our new president. And so they came to me, they told me, you are working with people. So come join our party, political party. So your people, you can influence them, they can vote for us, and then we'll give you money, we will give everything. I said, no, I can't do that. I love what I'm doing. No, come. I said, no, I will never do that. So by saying no, they start threatening me, sending the message. If you don't join us, we'll kill you. If you don't do that, we'll kill you. And my life was really in danger. I said, my goodness. I couldn't even sleep anymore. Sometimes I sleep in my house. Sometimes I go to a different place. So, and then I talk with some friend, USA Slow Food, some friend I met in Italy. I told them, here, I'm really in danger. If you can help me to get out of Congo. So there are some friends, they sponsored me to leave my country, to come here. So I arrived in Seattle in 2019. And for me, the first night, I really slept. I really slept in peaceful. And I say, oh, this is life I need. So, and then I stay here, my uncle, Florent, was walking in the red zone. That part called Bunya, where it was, it's just close to Uganda. His work was gone to the prison to hear, to ask people, why are you here? Many people say, we are innocent. Because we refuse this, they put in the prison. Because we did agree with that. So the government, they thought this guy may know so many things. He may speak in bad way against us. So they start threatening him too. So I talked to one friend in Seattle if he can help, and that friend, he really helped for him to join me here. And then this guy, Adrian, is my cousin. He just arrived 2 months ago. He had trouble. He was activist. He refused the pride. Take a man, be quiet. Don't defend anything. He said no, and he was going to main channels, radio, will speak, will say, this and that government, what is doing is bad. So they arrested him, and the UN, they tried everything to help him to come off here. So all of us three, we are living together in Seattle, in a small cottage, and we are happy, not in 100%, because our family is still there. Florent's family is still there. Adrian has 2 kids. It's hard for them. So, but we hope maybe one day, someday, they can find again to live with their family. And then I have a friend, this friend, we work with him, Bienvenue. We work really with him in Kisangani, and then he decided to go to Kivu. Kivu is, you want to go to grow the garlic onion. So when he got there, he started, and suddenly the M23 movement, the rebels, they kidnap him, they go with him in the jungle where he was digging the cobalt to help them. He worked with them. And then he decided to escape. He said, I escaped. I was saying, if they will kill me, let them shoot me. He tried to escape till he gets Uganda. And when he gets to Uganda, he's living now in camp, refugee camp in Uganda. So he was telling me, I'm living in the camp. There is no hope of life. I'm here. So for that, I always encourage him, one day things will be better. Don't lose your hope. So this is my experience. This is what I wanted to share with you this evening. Maybe if you have any questions, I'm here to answer. Thank you so much.
You, they give you time to answer the questions. Great, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask Victor, and then it'll be picked up. Victor, are you still involved in the slow food movement?
Yes,
in Seattle?
it's in Seattle, yes, not much, because I'm still, even from far, working with my community back home. But I am in touch with slow food in Seattle. Yeah.
First of all, thank you for sharing the story. I know it's very difficult, and you do it very well. Just coming from that background, it's like a huge amount of conflict. What I'm curious about is, what do you, in your mind, what is needed in those regions to achieve stability for those communities, for villages like yours and others?
You know, that conflict is so complex. It has been there more than 30 years. The UN, they are there more than 25 years, and is the biggest mission in the world. They have here the budget, but no peace. Every year they vote what they are going to do for the next year, but nothing changed. I cannot say UN is not doing, is doing all bad. There is, in certain way, they are doing good in a certain way, because people need peace. That is the more things people need, and still watching from the UN. So for me, the first responsibility is for Congo government. The problem is the government is so corrupt. In that area is 120 groups everywhere. Where does those groups get weapons, guns? We don't understand. And also every month, UN just used to give the report. And always they mention those rebels are getting support from Rwanda and Uganda. So for me, it's Congolese himself is the one to have conscience. To have conscience and population. I always say, even my friend Dim, I was telling him, the revolution is the only things Congolese people can do. But to start that, it's a big, big preparation. But each one is afraid to be killed. If you try to go to street, they kill you. So, I don't know.
What are you doing now in Seattle for helping back home? Like I'm reading this sign, it's sowing seeds, growing hope in DRC. Like, how can we help? And
So I'm happy them with some. I'm helping them coordinating things, do this. Also, sometimes I help them. I'm working at PCC. I don't make main money, but always I will think, if I want to drink beer, I say, if I buy beer, it is only for me. Why not this man I send, they can buy a tool. they can buy something for farming. So with the small things, I try to help because that is the way they can survive and combat the hunger. Yeah.
So you're supporting the slow movement, still backing.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah.
You're still the director.
Still the director.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are the political boundaries, like we understand them, you know, Congo, Uganda, Rwandans, you know, those are lines on a map that we see from afar, but when you get in close, as you mentioned, there are hundreds of different groups, tribal groups, who have much longer history that precede those lines on the map. Are there, do you see the lines as being a part of the conflict? You know, the lines that people have drawn on the map that have divided specific groups that should be cohesive? Or do you not think that there's any country lines on a map that makes sense anyway? It's always going to be conflicts in that area because there's resources.
Yeah. Most of the conflicts now, it's, you know, Kivu. Kivu is the big city there is Goma. So that area is really red zone. And Ituri is close to Uganda. You see, really, it's where my uncle came from. And also, South, Kivu, the Bukavu city, it's really, really very bad. So, the cobalt, diamond, gold, I've been that region. I've seen the cobalt is on the ground like this. And the bad thing is, most of the kids, they are using the kids to go to work on the mine. And how much did they get? $1 or less than $2 per day. They are using them, Chinese companies, they're involved. Today, we need our phone, battery, computers, electrical cars, come from cobalt. And 77 is 5 in the whole world. That part is only the Congo, 75. And it's there the conflict is.
There any areas in there that are fairly stable, or do they get overrun also?
There are some areas, a capital city like Kinshasa, but it's stable. The problem is the part of, but this is only for war. It's also economic problem. That is a big, big one. There's no job. If you go Kinshasa, it has 15 million people, capital city. It's a big, big city. You can't imagine the poverty. People, they don't get job. Maybe if you know someone from the government, it can connect you to get job. Otherwise, you stay home. You go, teacher, they pay teacher $100. 100 for what? The soldier, they are going to fight. $120, even no food. You go to work, maybe 1 month, they tell you there's no money. The day part. Second month, they say, no, we don't have money. But every day, the government, people are stealing million dollars. And population, nothing. So we have war problem, we have also economic problem in the country. Jambo. Thank you so much. I think I'm so happy to be here to share with you. And what I would expect for you is, as long as you learn, make known to other people, maybe your voice can help us to bring a little things, maybe can change through you. Who knows? Thank you so much.